Go. I think Creighton is on their way. If you haven't already, let's go ahead and silence all your electronic devices. As you know, we've got the NCAA Digital Hub that has quotes provided by ASAP and video from Hammond Communications. Unless you are affiliated with the school, there is no video allowed to be taken in here in this press conference room, only photos. We do have an audience with us on Zoom. When we get to the Q&A, we'll look to take as many questions as possible. Those of you that are joining on Zoom, if you have a question, please use the raised hand function. I believe Creighton is ready to join us up here on the dais. Hello. Congrats. All right, let's go ahead and get started with introductions. It's my pleasure to welcome to the dais Creighton head coach Jim Flannery, as well as student athletes Morgan Molly and Tatum Rembow.
Good, you got it.
Thank you. Let's start with an opening statement, please, Coach.
Yeah, this team just continues to amaze me, and we're so proud of, how they've grown, what kind of fight that they have, and how they play for each other, and just couldn't be more proud of them, the growth that we've seen. I told a lot of people we were 4-8 at the end of January a year ago. We had won 4 games, and we had obviously a lot of COVID, but it started last year. I felt like we really got a lot better. People like Morgan, who were freshmen, got experience, and we got in the NIT, and we came back hungry, and we didn't get out of the blocks. We lost 2 of our first 3, but we've been a good practice team, and I think when you practice well, and we've been healthy, I think that's a huge part. We've had a really good practice situation this year in terms of people being healthy, and I think when you do that, you can get better. But Iowa State, congratulations to them. They had a great year. They're a great program, a tremendous team. We have a lot of respect for them. About these two, somebody referenced Morgan as a bench player the other day, and I said that's kind of an insult. I know, I know she was 6th player of the year, but she's not a bench player. We just don't start her, but she's on the floor a lot. And then Tatum was incredible tonight. I mean, the third quarter, her confidence and her ability to make the plays that she did really kind of flipped the game. I felt like we had a good run at the end of the second quarter to get ourselves into a tie at half, and I felt that really helped us. But we're gonna get ready for South Carolina starting in the morning, and we're going to swing away. We're going to prepare the right way, and then we're going to come swing away Sunday night.
As a reminder, we're going to start this first portion of the Q&A for the student athletes only. If you have a question, please let us get a microphone to you. Give us your name and affiliation and who your question is directed to. We're going to start over here on the far left side, 4th row.
Aaron Beard with the AP. This is from Morgan. I guess you were doing a TV interview at mid-court, I think, and you got doused pretty good. Most people hold the water until the locker room. Just kind of what was your emotions kind of in the celebration and then getting doused on the court?
It was so fun. I guess that's kind of a tradition now that we keep winning. But I just love playing with this team, and it makes the celebrations that much better.
Take our next question right here to our left, 2nd row.
Gaby Reem, Jays 24/7. So like in that third quarter into the fourth quarter, it kind of felt like you guys could do, whatever you wanted. They would switch, you guys would slip, they would bring nail help, you guys would pop out. What was that process like just on the court? Like, do you guys have to communicate that stuff when you see it, or do you guys just like have it built in to, what you're doing out there?
Tatum, can you start, please?
We have a lot of freedom in practice, and we practice that motion almost every single day. So I feel like it's a little rough, like when you're in June and July trying to figure each other out, but once you start to build that chemistry, you kind of know who's going to back cut, who's going to curl, who's going to bump and pop, and who you want to bump and pop. So it definitely comes with a lot of practice.
Morgan?
I would just say we have players who make plays.
We'll go right down here to the front, off to our right.
Joe Nugent, WOWT Morgan, speaking of making plays. I don't know if any of your three-pointers that you made, you were actually close to the line. They seemed like they were all deep, and I don't know if any of them even touched the rim either. I mean, how did it feel? I mean, you were ready to let it go.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm used to, just coming in off the bench, just letting it fly. My teammates got me great looks, just kind of read the defense, and, you know, once the first one or two go down, it gives me a lot of confidence to keep letting it go.
Move back over here to our left, third row.
Ellie French with KTV. Tatum, obviously this is your last season, and that's getting extended now. How does that just feel?
I cannot be more grateful that this season has gotten to be extended 2 more weeks just from the Big East tournament. And these girls have made it so worth it on and off the court. They're definitely my best friends, and I wouldn't want to go through this with anyone else.
Okay, we'll go back to our left a little further back. Andrea?
Andrea Adelson with ESPN.com. As the final seconds were ticking off, can you just describe your emotions? I mean, the parents and fans behind me were crying. What was it like for you guys?
Morgan, you start.
It's just unreal. The past 2 weeks hasn't felt real, but it's been amazing, you know, to have that lead going into the fourth quarter and do enough to stick it out, and have Tatum make those free throws at the end, and defensive stops were huge. This is just a great experience.
Come back down again to the second row on our left.
So after you guys lost in the Big East tournament, you know, did you think this was gonna happen? Like, what was your mentality then, and how did it take you to now?
Tatum, you start.
That loss hurt in the Big East tournament. It's really hard to play a team 3 times, but that was definitely a game that we shouldn't have lost. And so I think everyone came back from spring break really eager and really ready to go because we know how good we are, and we knew how good we were back then. So I think we had to change our mindset a little bit to prepare ourselves a little bit better.
Morgan?
Yeah, that one stung, but I think we came back stronger, and we really dialed in on, you know, what each of our roles are, and we just kind of focused on meshing and making a run because we knew that we could.
Let's go back up to Andrea.
Tatum, as a quick follow-up to that, your parents and family were very emotional. Can you just describe what it means for this program, this fan base, everybody associated with the magnitude of this win?
Our parents are amazing. As you guys can see, they travel so well, and they all stay at the same hotel, and they all go out to eat before the games, and they hang out after the games. So it really is just one big family here with a lot of love.
Take our last question for our student athletes right here in the third row, a little off to our left.
Hi, this is for both of you guys. It seemed like around, I want to say like the middle of the third quarter, you guys went on a little run, forced Iowa State to call a timeout. You guys were celebrating and really hyped up as the timeout was called. You're going to your bench. At what point in the game did you guys really like smell blood in the water?
Morgan?
I would say, yeah, in the middle of the third quarter, our offense was working really well, and a lot of people step up and hit some shots, and we started rebounding the ball better on the defensive end, and that was, I think, kind of how they hung in the game, second chance points. So yeah, right around there.
Tatum, the last word's yours.
I feel like we're an emotional team, and we're going to celebrate who deserves to be celebrated. So when someone hits a big 3 and we go into a timeout, we're going to show them all the love.
Congratulations to both of you. You guys can head back to your locker room. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Let's go ahead and start the Q&A with Coach. Again, give us your hand. We'll start over here. Aaron on our left.
Aaron Beard with the AP. We were asking the players about their emotions, but What were yours like when the horn finally sounded? You could stop worrying about this game. You went over to the crowd and gave a couple thumbs up, but what were your emotions after many times of trying to get to this point, and now you're past it?
Yeah, it's I don't know. I've enjoyed this team so much that it's, I told him, you want to keep advancing because that's the goal, but I also want to just keep coaching this team. So that's kind of what I was thinking, I just love coaching this team because I never, it's different people, different nights. Like I said, we had 30 bench points tonight, and that's typical of us. We don't, Emma Ronsick's our leading scorer, and I didn't play her in the fourth quarter tonight. And, because I didn't trust her, it was because I trusted some other people. Peyton Brodsky, was unbelievable tonight. I thought she's played the best basketball of her career this year. We just have different people. Molly Mogensen, I thought, was really solid. And, and then we got some people who don't get to play who are super unselfish. So I think it's about, just continuing to play. And what a great opportunity, Sunday night to play South Carolina. That's, after watching them play, we came out to the bench and we were watching Iowa State in front of us warm up and us on the other end warm up, and we all seemed so small. I was like, they're both playing. It'll be different. We'll have our work cut out for us, but just the opportunity to keep coaching and just so grateful. Tatum mentioned our parents. It's we're a smaller school, and I think when you're a women's basketball coach, you get maybe just you give yourself a little bit more access to parents because, like she said, they're in the same hotel and they're a part of it, and so I'm super happy for our players, but I know what kind of sacrifices their parents made to get them to this point, and that's so cool. The images I had in my head after we beat Iowa were of our players hugging their parents, and that's what's really cool about, where I am right now in terms of, viewing what just happened.
Go take our next question on the other side of the aisle, about 6 rows back.
Andrea Adelson with ESPN.com. Can you just describe the composure of your team late in the game? Iowa State's battling back. You make your free throws and you're able to seal it.
Better than their coaches. I got a little animated a couple times. Yeah, good. When we put Tatum and Molly on the floor together, now we have 2 ball handlers. It helps us, and they downsized and went small, and they did that a lot during the game, and we downsized really a lot in the second half, and then down the stretch we were playing 5 guards too because I felt like we had a big enough lead. As long as we didn't give up threes and as long as we didn't turn the ball over, we were in good shape. And then the other part of that was we made some free throws. Tatum stepped up and made them. Lauren made a couple. So. Yeah, I think it was a little bit, part of it's, Tatum being a 5th year and a couple of our kids who are just kind of steady and flatliners. And then, I thought going small where we had a ball handling team on the floor where where you look like you're composed because you're not sped up as opposed to if we'd had a bigger lineup on the floor.
Right down here in the front, 2nd row.
Coach, I asked the players about what happened after that Seton Hall loss, and I want to ask you, what were you feeling then, and then what's changed since then to get you guys to this point?
Sure. Well, first of all, Seton Hall's a really good basketball team. They're in the Final 8 of the NIT, and we had a double overtime game with them about 2 weeks before the conference tournament, so there's no shame in losing to them. But I don't know. I think the newness of the tournament helps. I really believe we're, from a style standpoint, we're just a little different. When you talk about what we do on offense, we're we're a little different than what most people see, and I think that helps us in a tournament format where they only have X number of days to prepare, and they're trying to find, film maybe of teams that, play like us, and so I think that's helped us. And once you win one, your confidence is for sure greater. So I mean, we've had 3 tight games, and so there's some good fortune in winning too. It's not, the Colorado game was tighter than the final score, went down to the last 2-3 minutes. Obviously, Iowa went down to the final possession, and today, we had a little separation, but not a ton. But I don't know. I mean, I think we're what I love about this team is our sophomore class is really good. Our 3 leading scorers are in our sophomore class, but our upperclassmen provide so much. And tonight, Tatum was a scorer, but she doesn't have to be. But I think we've got that really good combination of youthful enthusiasm, and they don't know any better, and then good leaders who kind of guide them and reel them in when they try to get a little too either emotional or maybe aren't quite as focused. So that to me has been impressive.
Time for 2 more. I know who you are. We're going to take one right here, 3rd row back, a little bit towards the middle. Yep.
Thanks. Oh, forgot to identify myself. I'm Adler with the Next. So Iowa State infamously has a unique fan environment for their games.
Yeah.
Especially these kinds of games. Is there a way you mentally or emotionally prepare your players to deal with that and play through it?
Well, it certainly helped us to play in Iowa City last weekend in front of 15,000. So I think that was a help. And I thought it was great. A lot of I know North Carolina men played right after their women, so I didn't see a lot of Carolina blue. But I thought a lot of the South Carolina fans stayed around. That was nice. I thought that helped make the atmosphere. But yeah, I mean, Bill's done an incredible job at Iowa State, and what they've built in terms of the success of the program and how they draw and how they're supported is really impressive. So I don't know, but our players have been in that environment some, and I just think we were ready to play.
Last question on the aisle over here.
Flan, it was a tie game at the half. What was your message to the girls before they went back out on the court?
Yeah, that we can play better. Like I felt like we turned the ball over too much in the first quarter, and then the second quarter we didn't defensive rebound. And so I know that I think we had 5 turnovers in the first quarter, 10 for the game. So much better job the last 3 quarters, and then we gave up 8 offensive boards in the first half, and only 3 in the second half. So we cleaned those up, and that's what I said. I said we're tied, and we can play better. We can play, quite a bit better. I said we're, and the nerves are hopefully a little bit behind us, but, and Iowa State probably felt like they could play better too. They missed some open threes in that first half, but yeah, it was. Other than that, it was just a few tactical things, but a few things that they were running that we didn't defend very well, and just trying to get them to slow down a little offensively. But I thought we had done that in the second quarter much better than the first.
Thank you very much. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you. Sounds good.